One slightly more complex example here, using backgrounds and borders. This is an image. This is I took from the Apple website. This is their menu, and it looks pretty good. It's got gradients, rounded corners, text shadow there, but it's an image, and we don't want images. At least to the extent we can replace them, it's a good thing. And here's the same menu. Except the Apple logo, which I didn't dare reuse. The same thing, coded in CSS3. And here there's no images at all. This is all done in CSS3. And you can take a closer look at it by accentuating some of the features. Here's the text. This is text. It has a little bit of text shadow. That yellow thing. That white thing underneath. We have, in the box here, has rounded corners. It has a fuzzy shadow underneath. On the rounded search field here, there's a shadow on the top left instead to give it that 3D look. And the rounded corners, of course, come from border radius. Then there's a gradient. There's a gradient across this gray surface, which is done by setting an inset fuzzy border. So this is about 20 lines of code in CSS. And it will save, I think it will save designers loads of time. You don't have to use Photoshop to make these things. If you're going to correct the mistakes, add another entry in the menu, for example. You just write it out. It's a simple UL behind this, a simple UL LI structure. You can add entries, remove them, and of course you can change the filing if you like as well. Good. I think I'm going to stop there with CSS thing. I'd like to show you one feature of Opera, which I think is very cool, and we're going to see if we can make it work. This is called Opera Unite. Some of you may have seen the announcement. It's in beta still, but we hope to make it part of the shipping browser quite soon. What Opera Unite does is that it turns the browser into a server. The browser is very good at talking HTTP, right? But it's mostly used for fetching information from web servers. In Opera Unite, we flip it all around so that the browser can be a server as well. That means you can give people access to files on your computer. Now that sounds really scary, doesn't it? Yeah. But it's practical. For example, you have digital photos you want to share with friends. You can create a web server or a picture or a photo sharing service. And we're going to demo a little service here now. Unite is a framework, and we've had people write applications for it. And you write it in the standard languages that you know, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and DOM. Here's a little fridge service. It's a virtual fridge where I can add sticky notes to it. What should I say? New York, add it. Now this appears on my fridge, and the fridge is really on my computer here. But if I give people access to this URL, they can go in and check my fridge and add notes to it. Are you online? Can you see the URL here? home.howcome.operaunite.com/fridge. Anyone going there? Yeah. Home. Hey, there we are. There we go. Home.howcome.operaunite.com/fridge. So what you guys just did is go into my web page, and again, it's all running off this laptop here. If I unplug this laptop, took it off the net, you wouldn't be able to see this. That could either be a bug or a feature, depending on how you do it. But at least by going through this service, and this is operaunite.com, it's a way of setting up a tunnel from your machine directly into my machine. So here I could give you access to my photos. I could stream media files. Scary again. We need to tell people what they're doing once they do this here. But what what it does is it makes it so easy for people to set up a web server.
Can you still see the nodes when you run Quant?
Yes.
Can you still see the nodes
yes.
of that?
Yes, that's true. I can still do that. Yeah. So they're stored in here. Now, if you, in your computer, if you did a reload while I was offline, you wouldn't be able to get it. There's no replication anywhere.
Yeah.
What are you saying something important to me? Hey guys, Håkon is also. Hey!
Good one.
I paid a lot to see that happen. Yeah. So this is Opera Unite, and it's one of the features that we're very excited about. It's not the cloud. It's kind of not cloud. You know, it's my own computer, and we think it's not that we don't like the cloud. We love the cloud, but I think we'd like to have some services that are very close to our machines as well. We think we're going to see these servers running on all sorts of devices. We have Opera running in millions and millions of phones, for example. And there's no reason why you shouldn't have a web server running in the phone. If you take a picture here, you could serve it off to the web via an HTTP server here. So it's opening up for a more peer-to-peer oriented approach on the web, not just this server-client model that we've been having for so long.
It might also be important to point out that those of you who are posting are probably posting to a variety of different browsers, right? So just because you're not using Opera doesn't mean you can't use Opera.
Exactly. That's a very good point. This, of course, is all using web standards. What the other browsers see is just the normal standard stuff. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all. Perfect. I think I'm going to say thank you there and open up for some questions, perhaps, if there are any. We have been having kind of a discussion here, so is there anything else you want to talk about? Oh, sorry. Yes. Here.
Quick question. I know you have a special geolocation build.
That's right.
When do you plan to integrate that with?
Yeah, it's an exciting area. We have some people internally who are really excited about getting geolocation out. And they have been made publicly available to build. So it's a question of when do they get into the shipping version. I can't give you a date for that. There's work going on with this in the W3C committee to standardize the interfaces. I'm not sure how stable they are. It's difficult for us to put out the public build for people to play with, but we probably wouldn't put it into a shipping version before it's fairly stable API.
Well, I'll tell you what, how about we give Håkon a round of applause and our Okay. So just a closing commentary, very briefly. I want to thank you all so very much for coming to this event. I want to acknowledge the hard work